Hey everyone, today on People Now, Sunny Hostin is responding to the alleged racist comments made by an ABC executive. We'll tell you what she's saying. Starbucks lost one Grande follower. Yes, Ariana Grande is no longer following the brand after a policy change that they made. We'll tell you what happened. The group Lady Antebellum, who changed their name to Lady A, had a conversation with the singer Lady A, who's been using that name for decades. We'll give you the latest. The Kardashians are in Wyoming for a birthday party, and is Kourtney sending a hint by wearing Scott's shirt? We'll break it down. We are so excited for Matt James to be the new Bachelor. He becomes the franchise's first ever Black Bachelor, and People's digital news editor Morgan Evans tells us the top 5 things you need to know about him. That and more today on People Now. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to People Now. Hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. We have a lot to get to today, so here's what you need to know and what's trending for your Tuesday. Starting with this, The View's Sunny Hostin says she is hurt by a published report that an ABC executive made racist comments about her. Hostin said on Monday's episode of The View that it was a tough weekend for her, and she was, quote, really disappointed and saddened when she learned about the racist comments allegedly made about her colleagues, and her friends. A report by the Huffington Post over the weekend claimed that Barbara Fedida, who is ABC News Senior Vice President of Talent and Business, had made insensitive and racist comments about Hostin and other on-air talent. ABC News has since put Fedida on administrative leave as the network conducts an independent investigation. In a statement released through her attorney to the Huffington Post, Fedida called the allegations incredibly misleading. Hostin emotionally explained the significance of the alleged comments if the report is in fact true.
If true, to reference Robin Roberts, who is one of the most respected and beloved journalists in our country, as picking cotton, to reference me, someone who's been very open about having grown up in public housing, as being low rent, tells me that systemic racism touches everything and everyone in our society, regardless of social stature. No one is immune. It's the type of racism that Black people deal with every single day, and it has to stop.
Hostin thanked her colleagues for their support and said she's looking forward to the results from the independent investigation. The Huffington Post report also claimed that Fedida made racist remarks about Candice Gibson and Mara Schiavocampo. Gibson addressed the alleged comments on Twitter on Saturday. He wrote in part that he enjoyed his time at ABC, and if true, he is, quote, surprised and disappointed by the reported remarks. The country band Lady Antebellum, which recently changed its name to Lady A, connected on Monday with the blues artist Lady A, who's been using the name for decades. The group posted a screenshot of their call to Instagram, captioning it in part, transparent, honest, and authentic conversations were had. We are excited to share we are moving forward with positive solutions and common ground. The caption went on, the hurt is turning into hope, more to come. The original Lady A, Anita White, shared the same screenshot and message on her own Instagram account. The blues singer has been using the name Lady A for over 20 years, releasing several albums under the name, including her latest, set to drop on July 18th. After news broke of Lady Antebellum shortening their name to hers, White opened up to Rolling Stone about how she was frustrated that they hadn't gone to her before making that decision. While Monday's social media post makes it seem like they are on the same page now, at the time, White posted a picture of the article to her Instagram with the caption, how can you say Black Lives Matter and put your knee on the neck of another Black artist? She added in that caption that she would not be giving up her name or her brand. Last week, Lady Antebellum announced they would be shortening their name to make it more inclusive. In a statement shared on Instagram, they explained that after watching and listening over the last few weeks, their hearts were stirred with conviction and their eyes were, quote, opened wide to the injustices, inequality, and biases Black women and men have always faced and continue to face every day. They went on to reveal the decision to drop the word Antebellum from their name and move forward as simply Lady A, the nickname fans have used to refer to them for years. In case you don't know, the word antebellum refers to the historical period before the American Civil War when African Americans were enslaved. The band said that they are regretful and embarrassed that they, quote, did not take into account the associations that weigh down this word. They also revealed they were making a donation to the Equal Justice Initiative through Lady Aid, and that their prayer is for them to lead by example with humility, love, empathy, and action to ultimately be better allies. It looks like Starbucks has lost one of its Grande followers. An Ariana Grande fan account noticed early Tuesday morning that the pop star reportedly unfollowed the coffee giant after they initially banned workers from wearing Black Lives Matter pins. The company had been supporting the movement on social media, but in an internal memo published on BuzzFeed News last week, it reiterated that their dress code policy did not permit employees to wear buttons or pins that advocate a political, religious, or personal issue. The memo also stated that clothing and accessories could be misconstrued by agitators and potentially amplify divisiveness. Numerous employees told the news outlet that the company did not have the same problem with apparel supporting LGBTQ rights, which are handed out to employees. As social media users and Starbucks goers threatened to boycott the company, Starbucks said that employees would now be allowed to wear Black Lives Matter t-shirts, pins, and name tags. They even made a new t-shirt design showing their allyship and support to the movement. You're seeing that design right now. Starbucks previously said on Twitter that they are committed to taking action, learning, and supporting their Black partners, customers, and communities. This is not the first time that Starbucks has faced backlash for racial insensitivity and injustice. The company previously came under fire in 2018 when a store manager called the police on two Black men who were holding a business meeting in the coffee shop without having made a purchase. After apologizing, Starbucks temporarily closed all company-owned stores for racial bias training. All right, now we move on to this. Kourtney Kardashian is pulling off a cozy, cute look and sparking some romance rumors while she's at it. The eldest Kardashian posting this photo with a baby goat on Monday. Really adorable. It was taken in Wyoming. But those eagle-eyed Kardashian fans were quick to point out that the comfy flannel that Kourtney is wearing seemingly belongs to none other than Kourtney's ex, Scott Disick, who's currently vacationing in Wyoming with the family. He and his now ex-girlfriend, Sophia Richie, split last month after nearly 3 years together. And fans found photos of Scott wearing a shirt with this exact pattern back in 2017. So what do you guys think? Is this a hint? Are they back together? Does it mean nothing? We will keep you posted. Meanwhile, Kourtney's little sister Kylie Jenner and her daughter Stormi are showing off their cowboy style. Kylie posting this picture to her Instagram, captioning it, "Woke up in the wild, wild west." Stormi kept it traditional in brown cowboy boots, while Kylie opted for bright orange heels and an all-blue leather look. Kourtney, Scott, and Kylie joined Kim Kardashian West in Wyoming to celebrate Kim's daughter, Northwest, who turned 7 years old on Monday. And true to form, they went all out for that celebration, complete with fireworks. All right, stay with us. Amanda Peet stars in the true crime series The Betty Broderick Story. Find out what surprised her the most about the convicted felon she plays. Plus, her co-star Christian Slater weighs in on what it was like playing Betty Broderick's ex-husband. Stick around for that. All right, so last week, The Bachelor made history by casting its first Black male lead, Matt James. Here to break down that decision and what it could mean for the future of the franchise is People's digital news editor, Morgan Evans. Hello, Morgan. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thanks for having me today.
Of course. So let's talk about this. First of all, I love Matt James, so I'm so excited. For many Bachelor fans, though, this feels like a long time coming. From your perspective, what could this mean for the future of the show now that they seem to be serious about prioritizing diversity?
Well, I mean, to your point, first off, we love Matt. He's a great choice for The Bachelor. He's very on brand for The Bachelor, too, for several reasons. I mean, he's very attractive. He's got a great career. He's already part of Bachelor Nation, so people already know who he is. They're familiar with him. We love all of that. And yes, it was very long overdue. We're talking 40 seasons without a male Black lead. And so this was something that was necessary and it needed to come. And this is obviously stemming in a time in our country where we're seeing a lot of changes and we're seeing a lot of people really trying hard to embrace diversity and to expand on having diversity in every facet of media right now. So this is something that's been very, very long overdue. We're really excited for it. But, you know, to agree to a lot of things that Rachel Lindsay had said, like, yes, like, this is something that is great, but there's still a lot more that the franchise itself really needs to work on in terms of diversity.
Yeah, and that was actually my next question. So, you know, Rachel Lindsay has been very vocal about all of this. I mean, she was the first Black lead in franchise history when she was the Bachelorette in 2017. So she's talked about needing more diversity on and off camera, you know, but she also said this felt like a rush decision, kind of a knee-jerk reaction. So tell us more about where she's coming from.
I mean, I actually very much understand and agree with what Rachel is saying. She's saying that, like, she put it in a very, really kind of cool, like, metaphorical sense on social media where she said, like, it's almost the equivalent of putting the black box up for Black Lives Matter, in the sense that, you know, you're saying you support it and we're glad that you support it, but we need your actions to follow that. And so even though this is a great action and we love to see it, like, there's just so much more we need to do. And in 40 seasons, in addition to only having now 2 Black leads, we really want to see, and Rachel also said this too, we really want to see changes on the diversity side when it comes to backstage production, and one of the things I'm really looking forward to for Matt's season is I want to see the diversity of women, and I'm really hoping that it's not just one or two Black girls. We want to see from all people of color, and I'm hoping that that's something that they'll also embrace going forward. It's a great decision. We're obviously supporting it. We want to see Matt, but there definitely needs to be more to happen behind the scenes.
All right, let's get personal now. What are the top 5 things we need to know about Matt James?
First off, he's a great looking guy. We love that. We're already here for that. But he's a true sweetheart. He works with ABC Food Charities, which also helps kids with different experiences and teaches them about food in the New York City area. We know that he's part of Bachelor Nation already. He's great friends with, he's best friends with Tyler Cameron. They live together. And Tyler even said he was gonna be the Bachelor a long time ago. He called it. So we love to see that relationship. And he's good friends with Hannah Brown. So I feel like the Bachelor fans that were already with those people are going to come with Matt, which is great. And one great thing is also he's a really good TikToker. People love his TikToks, and he's been part of the quarantine crew.
Oh, I have seen those. Yeah.
Yeah, and
they're addicting.
They're addicting, and they're really good. So maybe we'll see some TikToking on the show. Maybe Tyler will come on the show. I feel like there's a lot of possibilities, and Matt he's a really, really great choice. I'm personally very excited to watch him. I've been pestering single friends. I've even had my sister sign up for this. I want to see everyone.
I know, I'm not even kidding. So I'm a little old for The Bachelor because usually the girls are really in their early 20s. But when I found out it was Matt James, I even considered, I'm like, should I? Wait,
yes.
Should I?
We'd love to see it. Oh my gosh.
Morgan, thank you so much for joining us. And everyone watching, Matt's season of The Bachelor is expected in 2021. Is it too soon to set our DVRs? I don't think so. Make sure you tune in for that.
How do you know this woman?
She's my wife. We are separated. I have an order of protection keeping her off of this property.
And you want that order enforced?
I know you guys have your own protocol for these sorts of calls, but in this particular situation, in my own personal opinion, I think it would be better if she went in for observation instead of...
Like a hospital, you mean?
She's clearly not in control of herself. I think she should be under someone's care.
Scripps might take her.
Maybe. Sharp Mesa Vista's too far.
I don't have admitting privileges, but once you figure out where she's gonna land, just give me a call and I'll have someone meet you.
Dirty John, the Betty Broderick story, covers the wildly controversial tale of Betty Broderick, particularly her tumultuous and ultimately deadly relationship with her then-husband, Daniel Broderick. I caught up with the stars of the show, Christian Slater and Amanda Beat. They broke down their perspective on this story. Watch. This story, obviously, is so controversial, so many different aspects, love and marriage and betrayal and literal murder. Amanda, what surprised you the most about this woman, Betty, as you dove in?
I guess just the way Alexandra portrayed her as having been this well-educated person who grew up in the 50s and I think was one of those women who grew up in that milieu in which pursuing a professional career was just not an option. And I guess it harkens back to the first Dirty John too. It's just this idea that you fall in love with the illusion of love and the illusion of marriage. And I really loved the way Alexandra sort of peeled back this marriage and focused on how you could possibly lead up to a murder from so much promise and such suburban, just like a normal suburban life.
And it was interesting. I watched some of her court tapes and there was, I felt for her. I felt a real heart for her and what she kind of, from her perspective, what she went through. Christian, for you, what surprised you most, not only about your character, but I guess about Betty as well?
Well, with Dan, what was really interesting for me is looking into this time period. I mean, I really appreciated Alexandra's attention to detail, and like Amanda was saying, I mean, her desire to tell this story and be extraordinarily authentic about it, and to a certain degree maintain a real balance between these two characters. From what I understand, when people watch this, it's like they definitely see where Betty's coming from, and but then at times there's another perspective where you can kind of understand where Dan is coming from. So it's just an interesting relationship to watch unfold over 8 episodes.
And Amanda, final question here. What do you think the real life Betty Broderick would think of this if she watched it? Or maybe she has seen it, I don't know.
I don't know. I try not to think about, I try not to step out and think about that too much, and did while we were shooting. I felt the same way, but again, I mean, just to go back to what Christian was saying, I think Alexandra wasn't really interested in portraying her just as the sort of cliche of a woman scorned, but also she wasn't interested in vilifying Dan Broderick either. So I think what's interesting about this retelling is that she really is holding the situation complexly.
All right, coming up tomorrow, Sherry Shepherd tells us all about the new season of our Netflix show, Mr. Iglesias, and she is so funny. Plus, Andrea Day's powerful and uplifting new anthem, Make Your Troubles Go Away, is the perfect song for these trying times. I caught up with her about the inspiration behind the song and why she feels hopeful about the future. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.